Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our bin 1. I think it's been about 18 days since our last update, and I'm sure it needs food, it might need some water, and it could need bedding. We're going to have to check and see how it's doing, but let's go and take a look and start figuring out what this is going to need. And I've got food ready to go, I've got some shredded paper as bedding, and I also have my watering can ready to go as well. So let's take a look and see how it's doing. All right, here's our bin. I just added our date here of 8/9. The last update was on 7/22. So let's flip this over and see how it looks. Oh, actually, moisture looks pretty good. So it's wet on top here. So we're probably not going to need any moisture. I do see over in this corner over here. Let's see if I can get in here close. It looks like there are some mites maybe in that corner, and there's some other mites around on the lid. So it might be a little bit too damp, actually. We might just need to add more bedding. So first off, let me grab a glove and let's take a look and see if there's any food in here at all. And if we find worms or cocoons. So let's go through here real quick. Oh, I was going to say, here's a worm right here. So, good healthy looking worm. It looks like it's a little swollen in the area over here where the cocoon would be. Let's just see here. I thought I saw a cocoon when I first dug in here, and actually I do see one right here. I already found a cocoon, so that's a good sign when you find one that quickly. Let's just see if we can get that in focus. So right there on the tip of my finger is a cocoon, and that looks like a good healthy one that hasn't hatched yet. Let's just see here. Not seeing any food. This is this is too damp. This is definitely going to need some less water in here, so we're going to have to add more bedding. Some worms down here. They look like they're healthy. All right, let's go to this end over here. A little drier in this area. Again, another healthy worm here on top. You can see that. So it looks like they're doing pretty well. Another worm right there. Not seeing any cocoons in here though, on this side. I think this is the one that I dropped before, so this is the same one. I'm going to put that over in this corner back where it was, so we can keep going through here a little bit and see what we can find. Of course, I'm not seeing any food. I didn't really expect any. Oh, there's another cocoon right there. Grab that with this hand. So there's another one right there. And actually a big worm over here as well. So they're producing cocoons, which is a good sign. Well, the population is a little lower than I expected, although there's another cocoon and another cocoon. So they're producing cocoons. And here's actually another one over here. So I think that with the food leaving, I think that they're in panic mode. Oh, hold on. Here's a little bit of food over here, actually. So this looks like some sort of, I'm not sure what this is. I think this is the ginger, actually. I think this is the ginger that I put in here. And it looks like it is still in here. I think this is ginger. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't tell what it is exactly. So, but that's still left in here. Let's just dig around here a little bit more. I've been adding typically food to the center, so let's just dig in here and see. It does look like there is some food in here still, actually. And the worms are on it. So that's a nice healthy looking worm right there. Kind of has a citrusy smell, so I'm wondering if it's some sort of orange peel or something in here. But there's definitely, this is a peel of something. That's probably a banana peel right here. And this is something that they are going after right here. You can see there's a whole bunch of worms on it. So they're going after something here. Just taking longer for this to dissolve. This does look like some sort of citrus, if I had to guess. And it smells kind of orangey or lemony, I'm not sure which. So this is taking longer for them the microbes to work into it to get it to break down. Oh, here we go. Here's a big handful of worms over here. Again, nice big, thick, healthy ones. Not seeing too many cocoons in this area, or at least I haven't seen any. Again, still some food in here, it looks like. We've got this is definitely a piece of banana skin or something like that. So they're still working through this food a little bit, although most of it is gone. There's actually another piece of something over here on this corner, so let me put that back in the center here. Let's just dig over here a little bit, take a look. Again, worms over here. Nice healthy ones, some little ones here too. There's actually it looks like a juvenile here. I've seen primarily big ones, but that's a big one with a juvenile. Let's just dig over in this corner. Again, more worms. So this is actually looking pretty good. I'm surprised that there's food left at all, though. I really expected that to be gone. I still think we're going to feed here. That looks like a pretty young worm right there. It looks nice and healthy, too. But usually, when I see them, they're usually a lot darker than that, even though this is a red wiggler. So I don't know why it's so almost white looking on the tail. But so what we're going to do, I think this side had the fewest amount of worms in it. So I'm going to dig down over here a little bit. And I definitely think we need some more bedding material as well. So give me a second here. We're going to dig right along this wall here. We're going to do a trench feeding on this side. So let me grab... I'm going to take off my glove real quick. I'm going to grab some bedding material. Actually, you know, before I do the bedding material, let's add a little bit of our crushed crab, if I can find it in my basement here. All right. So I have it now in this little shaker bottle to make it a little bit easier and cleaner. Just kind of like this. That way it's also not coming up in my face quite as much. And I'm hopefully this way I'm not getting as much powder in the air where I really need to wear a mask or anything. I'm not seeing any clouds this way. So there we go. We added some of that. I don't think we need any more moisture in this. We're not going to add any water, but I am going to put in some paper here. So I'm going to put in a big handful of paper. So there's a big handful. Sprinkle it down in this area. And then for feeding this time, I have a bunch of carrots ready to go. This is all, you know, from peelings today. And there's a lot of them in here, but this is a good food source for them. And it's a good, it's not a variety this time, but I figure this is fine. So there we go. That's all in there now. Now I'm going to add a little bit more paper back to the top, and then we're going to kind of cover this up with some bedding material. This is not frozen, by the way, so I don't have to worry about the worms getting on it right away or anything like that. So there we go. That is in there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on top, some of this material. And one of the things I think I'm going to start doing is marking what side I feed on. I normally don't do that. I usually just check the bin, and typically by the time I get back to it, it's gone. But let's start marking in this one here. So give me a second here. Let me clean off my gloves a little bit. And I'm going to grab a piece of cloth to put on that side and rip it into a small piece here that we could put on. So I've got some white shirts here. I'm just going to cut off a piece. So just so you can see here, this is my normal white t-shirts. You know, nothing unusual about them. So I'm just going to cut off a small piece here because these are used up and ready to be thrown into a bin, so we can mark where we fed. And you know, this is helpful even if you're running one bin or two bins. It can be helpful to definitely know where you fed, so you're not always just feeding to the same area. So give me a second here. I'm just trying to cut this up. I thought about this on the fly here instead of doing it before. And this will be a nice. I know other people have used like coffee filters and things like that, but I know that I've got a ton of these shirts that actually I've been meaning to slowly add to my bins anyhow. So this is a perfect excuse to throw one in here. So I've got a strip of cloth here. I'm just going to put that right on top, and that's going to mark where our feeding area is. And I'm going to start doing this in all my bins. I think I'll start putting on a strip like this on top. Again, this doesn't need any water. This is plenty moist. There was plenty of moisture on the lid. I'm just going to try to clean off my gloves a little bit. I think that's it for this update. So let me know what you think and how your bins are doing if you're trying this at home. Let me know how they're doing and what you're doing, if it's different than what I'm doing or if it's the same. So I'm always curious to know what you guys think. please respond and let me know. And remember, I do have some links down below if you want to purchase anything, such as like the urban worm bag or Vermibags that I have. I also have links to, I think, to these totes, although I think that it's a 10-pack. I think that's all they sell them now in. So I do have some Amazon links. It really helps me out if you click on them and use that to make your purchases. And thank you for watching.